Alrighty boys, let's get the introductions out of the way. First of all, I do love the long boys. I really want a long boy. He's like 5 million gold. I need to save my gold for that. Actually, they're not as big as this long boy. I would want this big long boy, dude. That would be a real mount. Like the kind of mount that can't even get into Augamar. That's the real mount that I want. What do we got on the horse side? We got Adreon. We got Bloody Bay. Oh, I like the name. We also have Boomstar. We have Seaver going up first again. And Daddyo. Oh, played some Boomkin. Show me the Boomkin power. I need to see it. We got Binus on the team alliance. We got Destructias. We got C3. We got Voldan going up first. And Wind. Oh, his name is WND, but we're going to call him Wind. It's going to be Voldan versus Seavark again. So these boys are getting another 1v1. Voldan, I think, learned a few things about Seavark and the big burst damage. You have to remember to pop his cooldowns, offensive or defensive. Either one of those, just pop him to survive. So if it's going to be an opener by Voldan onto Seavark. Back-to-back stuns with a bash. Big old bite coming down. That's going to be Rigor Frost coming out of Seavark. And it's going to be Voldan actually catching re-stealth off of Seavark. Letting the bleeds sink. Look at those bleeds. He got a lot of heals off it. Trying to get some food. Voldan is going to come out, try to get some damage in. Gonna let the bleeds happen. Needs to power shift this. No! Yeah, shifted back into feral form. Try to go for a heal. Shifted back though, not to get polymered. Misses the breath. And Seavark actually is having to deal with a whole new man. Voldan actually gets some big old bleeds. Big old bite to follow. It's going to be another blink. And that's going to be Meteor coming down by where Seavark is at. Trying to go for big burst damage into Voldan. Is Voldan going to have anything to counter? Wall, maybe a big heal. Trying to heal up right now. Wall coming out. Thorns are up as well. He bought all the cooldowns. All the whammies are coming out. This man doesn't deal with a lot of ferals all that often, we can tell, but he's still trying his best. Needs to go for another wall if he has one. Barely has any health. Stun coming on to see where he can trick us out of it. It's going to be temporal to get all that healing back. And he proc that cauterize. Doesn't proc that cauterize. Voldan can power shift out of this if he needs to. He's going to get another heal rolling. I don't know if Seavark is going to be able to steal some of those. Voldan does need to shift back into cat form or something. He does get an interrupt onto that. Greater Pyro, but at what cost? Trick us out of the freeze. Is getting another bite through Seavark's shield. Gonna keep maintaining the bleeds. Maintaining his health too. Well done, Voldan. Well done. Iceblock coming out. I'm sorry if it sounds like I'm on team Voldan, but the first time he went to get Seavark, he just got blown up. So I'm glad watching this boy like get better. You know what I mean? Getting rooted out. Polymorph coming down. Is he gonna trick it? No! Shift it! I know he went for massive heals. He had to shift it though. Greater Pyro Blast is going to come out by Seavark again and again. Double of that. Going to get a temporal roll and going to be a stumble of Voldan as he gets to lock down the mage. Needs to get some damage. Trying to force out the cauterize. Not going to land it. Breath coming down. That's going to be Seavark getting a few instant casts. Voldan is out of defense. No, has one wall. Needs to press it. No. It backpedaled a little bit. Voldan, you got it next time, dude. I love watching guys improve. I like watching them improve. It looks like Wind is not going to give him a chance to reset. Going to go for the big Stormkeeper as Seavark is trying to freeze him. Is going to be cauterized, getting forced out. Seavark did have some kind of a heal out of nowhere. Is going to land a polymer from Wind. Is he going to check it out of it? He is. And Seavark is juking it out of there. Oh my god, no health left. No, and he's done. Wind did give him a chance. After Voldan exhausted all his cooldowns. Adreon. Adreon? That's a hard name to say. Is coming up versus Wind. Malediction coming down onto Adreon's health right now. As Wind feels like he is in a good position. Didn't miss his Meteor by the pet does land a stun. Adreon is going for a bubble right now. Wind has wall up and running. He used to go for a heal. Could he get interrupted? Is Adreon just going to end him right now? Looks like he's continue. Oh my god, the paladin damage, the wings. Wind needed to respect the wings from the beginning. Needs to get a heal off or something. Stun coming out, but Destructias from Dark Spear. Gonna get stunned up by Adreon off of that. Adreon walking up with a Maledict. Execution sentence coming down. Destructias needs to be aware of his health. Does see the Shield of Vengeance. Is going to imprison it. Shadow Meld for a moment. Stun coming out of that. Is getting away from the Shield of Vengeance best they can. Going to go up in the air. Perfect position. Adreon is out in the open. Can he pop that shield with that? Yes, he does have rain from above. He's able to pop shield. Is able to crack into Adreon's health a little bit from the air. Can he do anything off of that? Maledicent coming down onto Adreon right now. No heal available. I-beam into Metamorphosis. Another I-beam afterwards. Dropping down Darkness. Adreon can't really hit into him. Execute Sun's coming down. If Adreon has enough damage right now, with enough Holy, he could take out Destructias. Does Trinket out of that stun immediately, and Adreon does go down. Destructias lives another day. But up next is going to be Daddyo as the Boomkin God. Let's see what he can do against I guess the Demon Hunter. We got double Demon Hunter and a Warrior. No dampening quite yet, so both these guys can go some healing, but this is where duels are going to start hitting into dampening. We're about to hit into the 1%, boys. You ready? 1%. There it is. Called it. How do I know? Does get a root onto Destructias from a distance. Gonna go for a Lunar Strike. Gonna get imprisoned off the bat. Destructias is going to land a stun onto him with an I-beam. Does activate Metamorphosis. It is going to go up in the air. Daddyo is actually going to take all the pot shot damage. Decide, you know what? That's a bit too much damage. I'm going to bail. I'm going to get myself a reheal. Going to go for regrowth right now. And Destructias is just trying to find a better angle of this. That rain from above might have actually been the good move right now, just to get Daddyo not to get any kind of instant cast off him. To reposition is going to sit in that Starfall. Going to get a stun onto the Boomkin. She needs to get the I-beam out running so he can get some damage. Thorns are coming down. And Destructias doesn't want to hit into it. Needs to purge it. Needs to dispel stuff off of Daddyo. It's going to just bail out of there. All the mobility got used, and Daddyo as a big old stag. No bark skin, no thorns available. This is where Destructias wants to go for some damage. Does get an I-beam, but he's rooted out in the open. Not a lot he can really do about it. Does he have a little critter walking after him? He does. Look at that little goat. Look at the little goat. You can see it, right? Little goat following him around. Cyclone trying to come out. Daddyo, I think, almost ended up getting the kick onto... Almost ended up getting kicked, but he is able to get himself full heals. And Destructias is at lower health. Doesn't have a lot of cooldowns available in terms of defensive, but does have some offensive cooldowns coming up very soon. I think Metamorphosis might be the way that he recovers. Does land a full stun into Daddyo. Maledicent to follow. I-beam to get into that Metamorphosis. That's a lot of damage. Getting rooted out every time he has any damage, though. Daddyo's just going to root him every time he goes into meta. He's going to leave him over there by himself. Daddyo is going to pop it to bear for him, getting stunned up. Thorns are coming down as Destructias is going to get some melee damage in. Doesn't really want to hit into Thorns. I think he's actually disabled to dispel him. Looks like he did dispel them with a Demon Hunter Dispel, and Daddyo is going to try to bail out of there with his Haas. Destructias again countering anything Daddyo is trying to do. Went up into Metamorphosis. Does have meta for a little bit longer. Is that full Metamorphosis? I think it is. Is going to get a stun onto Daddyo. Big damage available for Destructias for a little bit longer. Trick coming out. Meta coming down. So all the big burst damage is out of the way. Daddyo is going to go for big old Incon right now. Getting imprisoned. Going to trick it out of that imprison though. And this way Destructias just wants to bail out of it. He's just going to run away. It's going to be the mobility of a Demon Hunter that tries to save him. He is running out of all the whammies, continuing to fly around. But Daddyo is going to be able to get redots on him if anything. Destructias is still not in the best spot. Can at least run away from the Boomkin. But the Boomkin has a plenty amount of CC to make the gaps happen. Destructias can just run away. That's about all he can really do defensively right now, just waiting it out. Wants to get a stun onto Daddyo, can go for Metamorphosis with a little bit of leech. Is going to go for Blade Dance, going to get some health recovery, but with those thorns, trying to dispel them. Is he able to? Not able to dispel the thorns. And he just needs to run away again. Gonna go up in the air where he can pelt him from above. Gonna get a few pot shots. This LOS, oh my god, the LOS actually is pretty good with that wall. I was thinking maybe he might be able to hit over it, but it doesn't look like it. It looks like pretty solid. And Destructias is again gonna get in prison. Can he get another meta? If he get a meta again, he might be able to do it. Stun coming out right now. Trying to get some free damage into Daddyo. Stun again. Can you get an I-beam off that? Is going to back up for a moment. And again, back to running. Got some pot shot damage. Hit and run style out of there. It's going to be I-beam getting silenced on it. Maledicent onto Daddyo. Destructias is trying to end the duel right now. Getting hit out in the open with roots. It looks like Daddyo is going to play the defensive stay with Regrow. Is going to heal up to full. Destructias is out in the open. Decided, you know what? I'm going to commit on the Boomkin. I got nothing left. I can either run or just kill him. And no, he goes down with a few instant casts. Daddyo planting a flag. Not a flag of ownership, but a pretty decent flag off that duel. Citri is up next. Is going to catch up to Daddyo. The Boomkin is going to be found at low health. Thorns are up right now. Citri could try to see if he could purge him. Looks like he's not going to. Metamorphosis is coming down. Daddyo is having to force the Barskin as well. Actually wants to root him. He has the Thorns as a countermeasure against Citri's damage. But you know what? He was like, you know what? Even if I have Thorns, I don't want him hitting me. Not a Metamorphosis. Citri has too many cooldowns, and that's a long Metamorphosis too. It's a 4-minute one. That's going to be a long one. 30 seconds of free damage. Citri just needs to connect with Daddyo. Can't quite do it. Is Daddyo going to restart? He did. Citri needs to pick up the eyes or something. I think he is going to pick up the eyes. If Daddyo can wait it out, Metamorphosis is down, the big meta is out, and Daddyo only has to watch out for the IB meta during short moments. Gonna get stunned up, gonna trinket out of it immediately, trying to get some damage to Demon Hunter. Maybe that trinket might have not been the best idea. Maybe he's getting a little bit anxious, wants to actually get some duels and damage. Is gonna get Thorns up and running, as Citra does get himself Metamorphosis up and running, dropping down Darkness, but Citra's Health is just not looking amazing. Daddyo decides, you know what, I have the advantage here in health, I could probably end this guy right now. Cyclone trying to come out, gonna get interrupted on it, which is gonna give Citra a fair amount of resources, and Daddyo's health is now not looking amazing. Gonna get a root onto the Demon Hunter. There's a lot of line inside though. Daddyo can't even do anything. That's going to see Citra actually go up in the air. Daddyo's going to take a lot of free damage from him right now. Does want to line aside. Regrowths are coming out. Cannot be playing greedy. Can he get into cast on Citra? One comes out. Is that enough? Dots do melt him to the end. It looks like Bonus is the last man standing as a Fury Warrior. I think he's allowing Daddyo to. He is allowing Daddyo get the full reheal. Daddyo is going to get the opportunity to maybe get a 1v3. I would want to see this guy play as the first man standing out of some of these groups, boys. I would love to see him as a Boomkin just to see how far he can go, man. Also, can Demon Hunter just dispel Bob? They can. It's a purge, but if it's like a layer of cooldowns, Bob won't be the first thing to dispel, you know what I mean? So if Daddyo, let's say, has a Rejuve and other cooldowns, like Thorns and Rejuve, if it pops Rejuve, then Thorns, I think then Thorns is covered by Rejuve. So the first thing you dispel is Rejuve. They can do some crazy stats like that. It's going to be Daddyo versus Binus. Getting Thorns out early, and Binus is going to bail away from those Thorns right now. Going to get a charge off. Continues to heal. 38% dampening. Going to be a little bit behind on healing. And Daddyo is going to get power shift and rolling right now just so he can get around the battlefield a little bit easier. It doesn't go to slow down. Trying to go for Cyclone into Binus. Does Binus have an interrupt? I think he's just kind of waiting as an interrupt. Daddyo cannot be juking out spells for too long, though. He's going to have to come out of Boomkin form. Going to try to go for a heal as stun hits him with a Maledict. A lot of those hots are going to be absorbed, but Binus is sitting in a root right now. Going to get a massive leap, trying to catch up to the Feral, but the Feral does land a re-stealth, and Daddyo is in a good spot right now. He needs to find a moment where he can come out of stealth and start healing. Trying to find the best angle. Looks like he's actually going to go for Mage Food instead. Look at him eating, chowing down on some Mage Food around the corner. I think he got a tick or two of it. Could come out and regrowth himself if he wanted to. Binus is going to mount up, picking up the eye from a distance. Daddyo is going to take advantage of this maybe. Should come out, is going to try to go for food. And he's furthest distance from Binus, but he's coming around the corner. He does get a tick or two of food. Charge comes in from Binus into a root immediately. This is where Daddyo wants to go for some big damage, drinking it out of the stun. Binus is going to land a Fury on him, trying to deal with Incarn, but that's going to be a pretty long cooldown. If Daddyo has all the resources, he could have Bud Blast Binus completely. He's continuing to do damage. Thorns are coming down, trying to cover himself in every corner, and Binus is actually playing very defensive. Once you get a charge heal off that, does have a massive heal rolling right now. Binus is able to heal through a portion of it, but those dots, the damage of the Arcane, the Instacast, and the Thorns are preventing. His health basically didn't even move with his heal weapon running. He's trying to go for Cyclone, not gonna happen. Gonna land another Cyclone. Does land a Cyclone to Binus. He tricked out of it immediately. Another Cyclone trying to come out. Is he gonna get interrupted? Daddyo's health is not looking that amazing. Looks like he might get an execute range. It looks like Binus does land an execute onto Daddyo. Up next is gonna be Bloody Bay as a Feral Druid already rushing in, trying to get some big damage, trying to end this warrior right now. Not even gonna give him a chance. He's gonna go for a back-to-back stun. Triple stun right now. Even using his racial war stomp in order to get another stun going. Down he goes, man. That was a good duel by Daddyo and everybody else, dude. Hell yeah, boys. Hell yeah. I liked it. I liked it. Woo. Almost had your C work. Oh man, that was really good, dude. That was good. Does anyone know if the war campaign is what doing on alts? War campaign? Like the actual story? Probably for like AP.